Another day, another court appearance. Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. We are in court again today. It is the 29th of November, and before we start, I'm not a legal expert, I'm not a legal advisor. However, I just share information on the proceedings as well as my personal opinions on this case. This case gets even more frustrating by the day simply because of Judge Ratha's behavior. His behavior, although I'm not a person of law, but seems to be very biased. It doesn't seem to be very professional, and some may even say he seems to give evidence on behalf of the witnesses. But let us move. Today it was a late start in court because the accused arrived late in court, and there were two incidents of assault that Baloyi wanted to address with regards to the 18th, where there was a gentleman who was mentioned who had braces, and also near a dumping site in Orlando, when Brigadier Gininda arrived in a white BMW with documents for the accused to sign. Gininda denies these accusations, and he says the first time he saw the accused, he said firstly let him start on the 19th, and he says on the 19th Mohola was not in his presence because she had taken accused number one to court, so he didn't see her until later on that evening. And he also says Mohola was driving a red GTI, not a BMW, and he was nowhere near her on the day. He only met with her later when they were gonna go to Pukeng police station. And then also on the 18th, he denies the accusations, and he says that he wants to refresh his memory with his diary. He then, before he refers to his diary, he then says no, he remembers now what took place, but he does basically say that his diary has all basically the happenings of the days that are in question, especially when he was involved, and he denies the accusations of assault in his presence anyway. The issue of the BMW came into question again when Baloyi asked if their unit does have a BMW, and Brigadier Gininda does confirm that their unit does have a white BMW. However, it was only issued to Mohola in 2021, and he says that he thinks that the accused might have seen this car whilst Mohola was transporting them, because since the case started, Mohola has transported the accused, which I don't understand how that could have happened as the accused were in custody at the time. But anyway, we then go on to just finish off with Baloyi with regards to an area with unutilized ATMs, and Gininda basically says, I've never seen ATMs just being dumped somewhere. It's the first time that he's hearing that, and also he had not met Rapado until the day that he needed to fetch the accuser's confession. And also with the issue of the magistrate, which is Magistrate Cronier, where the accused says that Gininda was present, not with Magistrate Cronier, but at the boardroom at the police station. The accused said Gininda was present and he took some photos of the accused. Gininda also denied this. Gininda also confirms that the vehicle that Mohane was using, which is the Toyota Fortuner, was parked at the garage because it had some mechanical issues that he was aware about because they had told him about these. Mngomezulu then requests that Gininda brings copies of his diary, or actually bring the physical diary to court for them to be able to peruse the diary so that they decide whether they want to ask questions with regards to that diary. Baloyi had completed his examination in chief with Brigadier Gininda. However, the judge then reminded Baloyi about accused number one informing the magistrate of his assault, and the judge basically tells Baloyi to cover that issue, which I don't understand why the judge asked Baloyi to cover that issue if Baloyi had not covered the issue himself. But anyway, after that issue was covered, it was then time for cross-examination. And Mngomezulu basically asked for an adjournment until tomorrow, and the judge says there's no way there is going to be an adjournment until tomorrow because the witness, Brigadier Gininda, is a very busy man. So he would prefer that the cross-examinations continues today. So an adjournment was taken from about 11 o'clock all the way through to 2 o'clock where cross-examination would proceed. After the long adjournment, as Mngomezulu was about to proceed with his cross-examination, Baloyi just said he had one more aspect to cover with the witness, which was in regards to his qualifications. He then placed those on record, and cross-examination by the defense for accused number 1 and 2 then began. Just judging by the questions that Mngomezulu was asking at first, you could tell that he was not really prepared, and the judge was not understanding why Mngomezulu was not prepared because Gininda says that all this information was disclosed to the defense before the trial. Now, if you remember, Mngomezulu only joined this trial in the trial within a trial. So any information that was disclosed in the main trial, he hadn't had privy of that information. So he was just requesting that he have a look at all that information so he's able to proceed with the cross-examination. However, that was not granted. So he continued with this cross-examination, especially with regards to how accused number 1 was arrested and what was linking him to the case 636. And the most important question that he asked in this regard is who charged the accused with regards to this case. And Gininda sort of didn't give a straight answer. He just said no. He explained that they were given the go-ahead by the JPP, but the question is who executed the warrant of arrest, and the question was not clear. He then went on to say Mogola executed it, but from what Mogola has given in evidence is that the J50 she executed was with regards to the drug case. So we will touch back on that tomorrow, as Mngomezulu had requested that those certain questions stand down until he's able to familiarize himself with the information in this regard. Another main thing that Mngomezulu was questioning the witness about was in regard to section 219 in respect to confessions. There was a back and forth with the witness. You can tell that the witness is well versed and also knows quite a bit about the law, as he is currently studying his LLB. So there was a bit of argument with the two there with regards to this confession that accused number 1 made, and Mngomezulu then just says just before the adjournment that he will continue to canvass this tomorrow and he will leave it for argument. Now, I want to talk briefly about the judge's behavior in this case, because there was a moment where he made like an agreeing sound when the witness was giving his evidence, and Mngomezulu even pointed it out that I heard a funny sound coming from the court, and the judge then says if I had something to say I would basically say it. But he seems to have gestures that he shows when the witness is giving evidence. It's either he makes these agreeing sounds, or he nods with his head, showing agreement to what the witness is saying. And it's very frustrating for the defense. I must just put it out there. It is very frustrating for the defense. However, we will continue tomorrow and see where the cross-examination takes us with this witness.